Oh, hey Wally, it's me, your best buddy Wally, from the future. Gosh, it's me from the future. Well, what have you been up to? Oh, you know. This is a very thoughtful comic on depression and anxiety. Mental health issues are a valid concern. Now watch me frame these crazy f***s for murder! And so it was that the depths of future Wally West's crimes are revealed. Not only did he kill people, but he also set up Booster Gold and Harley Quinn to think they might have been the killers all along. But past Wally West forgives his future self. The future one gets arrested and the other one goes away, or there's something. Okay, let's just move on. I can't deal with this comic anymore. I need to review this thing. I can't fix this. I can't like this. Let's talk about Heroes in Crisis number 9. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this review. I have a lot of opinions about Heroes in Crisis number 9, but before we get to them, if you like Comic Island, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our Patreon page in the video description below. So, years ago, in a move that DC Comics made in order to become a bit more mature and dealing with adult themes, even though their entire publication line had for decades been moving in a more mature direction with adult themes, they decided to publish an event called Identity Crisis. They attempted to tackle the difficult issue of rape through superhero comics. And though it should be pointed out that such things have actually been discussed in superhero comics in the past before Identity Crisis, in a mature and intelligent way, Identity Crisis was an abysmal failure that failed to live up to the quality and thought needed to tackle a difficult issue that affects people in real life in a serious way. Before ever reading even the first issue of Heroes in Crisis, the first thing I heard about this event was that it was going to be a lot like Identity Crisis. So you might imagine some concern I might have had for the overall quality of this series and what we were going to get out of the thing. Of course, the key difference being that instead of tackling the difficult issue of rape, Heroes in Crisis deals with the difficult issue of mental health. And that comparison to Identity Crisis has pretty much held true for the entire duration of the run of Heroes in Crisis. The writing felt and still feels fundamentally shallow and pretentious. It somehow takes 9 issues to tell a story that really could have been told easily in 2. And like Identity Crisis, it takes a difficult issue and utterly fails to offer any insight into the matter beyond just the most superficial sort of observations. If anything, the implications of this comic, the people suffering from trauma, depression, or anxiety being either victims or serial killers almost exclusively, is a bit frustrating to me. Now, to be fair, efforts are clearly made to showcase the fact that pretty much every superhero is suffering from trauma in some regard. There are elements of this comic that do a really good job and get into some really interesting territory and ideas with how mental health could be depicted in superhero fiction. To be fair, this comic and series as a whole is a step up in the overall quality when compared to Identity Crisis. Heroes in Crisis is far more polished, but still awfully clumsy, especially from what I might expect or hope for out of Tom King. It has the pace and structure of King's Mr. Miracle series, but without the same purpose and clever writing, and the result is one of the murkiest and ugliest event comics DC has ever published, coupled with an inconsistent tone that often feels inappropriate given the enormity of the crimes and serious nature of the story in question. For example, Harley Quinn kicks Wally in the balls at the end of the story, and given all that he's done, the gross violation through Wally's actions of Booster Gold and Harley Quinn's agency feels wildly inappropriate given what we're talking about here. Then we're treated to all these people hanging out, doing fist bumps, hugging each other, and it feels gross given what's happened. Yes, some stories benefit from a little bit of levity, even very serious stories dealing with serious themes. Those stories don't usually kick off their plot with the massive, unmitigated slaughter of the mentally ill. Again, it's not the worst thing I've ever read. I'd say it comes somewhere in the middle when we start to compare this big event to other big DC crossover events. But boy, is it hard to get past what Tom King is doing with some of these characters. I think somebody's going to have to make a book for fans soon called "So Your Favorite Character Has Become a Mass Murderer Thanks to Shoddy Writing" or something, because it's getting ridiculous. Wally West and his return to Rebirth promised a new direction for the company in a more positive and less angsty direction. Heroes in Crisis suggests that nobody has learned a damn thing at the company. And also, am I supposed to be taking this story seriously? Time travel clones are certainly nothing new in the world of superhero fiction, but good lord, what kind of storytelling is this that we're using that as an attempt to back out of all the craziness of this comic? I checked out this final issue because I wanted to see if things got better in the back half of this series. After the first half was so bad, our viewers considered it the worst example of a superhero story in 2018. Things did indeed improve in the second half of Heroes in Crisis, and it's a real shame that the story is a dud, because Clayman's art is simply not. The design and thought behind the art contrast starkly with the writing. I feel like this work on some of the characters is going to be one of those things referred to in the years to come from an artistic perspective. Alternate costumes in video games might have Poison Ivy's Heroes in Crisis outfit, and to be honest, I wouldn't blink an eye at it. It's totally deserved, and Clayman does such a great job in his design and thought behind some of these characters that I'm all for it. It's a real damn shame that once again Marvel and DC have fronted an event with gorgeous artwork and barely coherent writing. One requires so much more effort than the other that the difference is remarkable. So no, I don't recommend this comic or this series. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it and keep reading comics.